Yo, what's up, Division Agents? This is Magneto, and welcome back to the Hell Riders Gaming channel. In this video, I will be talking about 3 potentially crazy builds that I have in store for you guys. Basically, it's the best combination of the new as well as the old content, and I would love to share these with you guys. So when the update goes live, you would have an idea of what exactly you need to farm for. Title Update 11 is mostly related to CQB tactics, that is close combat battle. There's a new PvE mode which will be releasing along with the title update called the Summit. It's gonna be a close combat style with randomized map layouts and enemy factions. There are a couple of new weapons, exotics, as well as one new brand set and one green gear set. I'll not be going through all in detail, but I'll definitely give you guys a short description on the new items being released. Just a reminder, all the footage is taken from the public test server. The new content is subjected to change, of course. All depends on the public inputs and the developers. Before we jump right into my loadouts, I want to thank all my subs viewers for the continuous support. It's very much appreciated, man. So here we go. Build number 3. The Armor Regen 2.0. There are other Armor Regen builds, but this is a slightly improved version. Right after the gameplay. For this build, I'm using the Fire Starter specialization that gives me that medkit which everybody loves. And also when your armor breaks, you deal fire damage to enemies around you, which is pretty good. My grenade, I'm using the default grenade you get along with the Fire Starter, that is the cluster grenade. For my primary weapon, I'm using the new weapon which is called the Mop. It's the name variant, and the attributes, it gives you 5% armor on kill. This is something interesting. You can basically have any talent you want, but preservation would be really good. For my secondary weapon, I'm using the Bullet King. I prefer the Bullet King because you do not need to reload and you can deal that continuous damage onto the target. For my pistol, I'm using the new pistol which is going to be releasing in title update 11. It's called the TDI Card Custom. Alright, this pistol is pretty dope. It gives you +1 skill tier. I mean, pistols, nobody uses pistols in this game anymore. Completely useless, but at least this time the pistol can just be in your loadout and behave passively in a good way by giving you that +1 skill tier. And now coming to the equipment pieces, I'm using 4-piece Foundry Bulwark along with the vest and backpack for its talents. As for the core attribute, Armor God Roll and attributes, I would like to have Armor Regen to boost that Armor Regen in your build. And for your mod slot, you can have, I have put 20% repair skills because I'm using Chem Launcher Heal, which I'll explain to you guys in a while. Coming to the vest, it's the same thing. And the talent, improved materials, increases makeshift repairs from 20% to 30%, very important. If you guys do not know what Foundry Bulwark is about, let me read it out to you guys. Plus 2 pieces gives you 10% total armor. 3 pieces gives you 1% armor regen plus 50% shield health, and 4 pieces makeshift repairs. Whenever you or your shield takes damage, 20% of that amount is repaired to both over 15 seconds. This is pretty good to have in your armor regen build as it improves your armor regeneration. Then coming to the holster, it's the same. Core attribute is blue and your normal attribute is going to be armor regen. You'll have armor regen in all your 6 pieces, obviously. Coming to the backpack, for my mod I'm having skill duration, which is pretty good for my chem launcher, as I said. And the talents, process refinery, increases makeshift repair speed from 15 seconds to 10 seconds. Again, it improves your armor regeneration. Now coming to the gloves, I'm using the Vambrace gloves. It's part of the brand set Bellstone Armory. This is the new brand piece which is going to be released in the update. So 1 piece gives you 1% armor regen, 2 pieces gives you 10% armor on kill, and 20% gives you incoming repairs. So I use only 1 piece just for this 1% armor regen. Core attributes gonna be a blue, and attribute is hazard protection, and the other one is armor regen, of course. And finally I'm using the Emperor's Guard. This is a dark zone drop. I'm not sure if you get this in the open world, but I got this from the dark zone, and I feel it's a dark zone only drop. And also the dark zone vendors may sell this, so do check every week. So basically your core attribute is going to be a yellow by default, and you're going to have 1% armor regen as a special attribute because it's a named item, and I have armor regen as my second attribute. What would be good here is if you get a piece with 2 armor regens as default, then what you can do is recalibrate your core attribute to a blue, which will further increase your total armor as well as further increase your total armor regeneration. And for my skills, I'm using the striker shield and I'm using the chem launcher. So why am I using the chem launcher? You drop your chem launcher, it further increases your armor regen. Not technically your armor regen, it's basically healing you, but it gives you that feeling. I'll quickly show you my stats. So armor regeneration is 83,000. It definitely goes higher than 100,000 because of the Foundry Bulwark. It totally depends on the enemy damage on you, and that the 30% of that damage you get as your armor regen in 10 seconds. And the chem launcher healing, repair overtime 60,000. So your armor regen plus your chem launcher healing will easily fetch you about 150 to 160,000 armor per second, which is pretty damn good according to me. Build number 2. It's a shotgun build. I'd like to call it as the CQB monster build. This hits really hard right after the gameplay. So for this build, I'm using the gunner specialization because it gives you that 10% armor on kill, and every 60 seconds you replenish some amount of ammunition back, which is again pretty helpful. For my grenade, I'm using the default grenade the gunner specialization has to offer, that is a riot foam grenade. For my primary weapon, I'm using the mop. I really love the shotgun. It's pretty powerful and it hits really hard, as you've seen in the gameplay. And for my secondary weapon, I'm using the Lady Death. You guys know how deadly the Lady Death can be. And then for my pistol, I'm using the TDI card custom again because of the +1 skill tier it has to offer. Now moving on to the equipments, I'm using the 4-piece Hunter's Fury. This is the new green set which I was talking about, which will be releasing in Title Update 11. So +2 pieces gives you 15% shotgun damage as well as 15% SMG damage. +3 pieces gives you 20% armor on kill along with 100% health on kill. The armor on kill is very much required when you're running close combat, and the 100% health on kill is pretty good. That is, if you're just about to die and you get a kill, your health is replenished straight to 100%. +4 pieces. Apex Predator. Enemies within 15 meters receives a debuff, increasing your weapon damage against them by 20%. Killing a debuffed enemy with your weapon disorients other enemies within 5 meters and amplifies weapon damage by 5% for 10 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. As you've seen in the gameplay, the amount of damage output, it blows your mind, like literally blows your mind. So for my mask, I'm running weapon damage as core attribute, critical hit damage, critical hit chance. So I try to get my critical chance as high as possible, and whatever I have left I put to critical hit damage. So now for my vest, I'm using again one of the pieces of the Hunter's Fury, weapon damage, critical hit chance, and a critical hit chance mod. Talents. Endless Hunger increases the duration of the Apex Predator stacks from 10 seconds to 30 seconds. This is pretty good because 10 seconds I find it to be pretty less. 30 seconds is just perfect. Now coming to the holster, I'm using another piece of the Hunter's Fury. I recalibrated the core attribute to armor, and the attributes I have is critical hit damage. As for my backpack, I'm using the new exotic backpack which is called the Memento. I think this is the best exotic piece in the game till date, and I'm really looking forward to getting this backpack. So by default you have 3 core attributes: red, blue and a yellow, all 3 together, which is absolutely insane. And then you have a mod slot where you can put any mod you want on it. So let me read the talent out to you guys. Kill confirmed. Enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provides both a short and long term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. So depending on reds, how many reds you have, you get +5% weapon damage. For blues you get 20% bonus armor. For yellows you get 5% skill efficiency. For every trophy collected, gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regeneration for 300 seconds. Maximum stacks 30. Man, I'm in love with this backpack. It performs really well. Now coming to the gloves, I'm using the fourth piece of the Hunter's Fury. Weapon damage and critical hit chance. For my knee pad, I'm using the Badger Turf, which gives me that 10% shotgun damage. Core attribute I have is a blue, critical hit damage, critical hit chance. I prefer to have 3 blues on this build because obviously you're gonna go head on to the target. You obviously need survivability. So I think 1.3 million is more than enough for your shotgun build. If you've seen the gameplay, this shotgun can slay enemies even with 4 reds. As for my skills, I'm using the Revive Hive and I'm using the Crusader Ballistic Shield. And finally, number 1, an SMG build. I would like to call it as the CQB Shredder build. This melts enemies, period. Right after this gameplay.
Hostile ready.
And now for this build, I'm using the gunner specialization again for that armor on kill 10%. And for my grenade, again, I'm using the default riot foam grenade. For my primary weapon, I'm using the Backfire exotic submachine gun. This is the new exotic gun which will be releasing in title update 11. So by default, it gives you obviously SMG damage, critical hit chance, and magazine size. The total magazine size is 56 and RPM is 850. The talents: payment in kind. Dealing damage to enemies adds a stack of 1% critical hit damage up to 200 stacks, lasting 10 seconds. Here comes the tricky part. On reload, apply a 10-second bleed to yourself, which deals 0.5% armor damage per second to you. This is literally a backfire on your build. But there are ways to overcome this, which I will be showing you now. And as for my secondary weapon, I'm using the mop shotgun again because I'm just in love with this shotgun. I'm gonna have this shotgun in all my builds in the future, as well as my pistol, the named pistol, which gives you that +1 skill tier. Now coming to the equipments, if you notice, I'm using 4 pieces of the Hunter's Fury again because it has that SMG damage in 2 pieces and armor on kill, which is really helpful. And I'm using 2 blues, which I think is quite enough, which gives you 1.1 million armor, which is good for your survivability. Along with this is a new named item for the Bellstone Armory. It's called Everyday Carry. So here the talent is Perfect Bloodsucker. So Bloodsucker talent was already there before, so this is just the perfect variant of the talent. Killing an enemy adds and refreshes a stack of plus 12% bonus armor for 10 seconds, and it stacks 10 times, so you get about 120% on your 10th kill. Mods. I placed 2 bleed resistant mods in this build, which gives you about 18% plus 17%, about say 40% bleed resistance if you have them god rolled. And along with that 10% hazard protection you get from your shade watch, which is your hazard protection 10%. So it gives you about 50% bleed resistance. So whatever bleed you get from the backfire, it's just cut into half. And the best part is your bloodsucker, the bonus armor you get after you kill, it actually absorbs the bleed damage. Now if you notice, I'm also using the Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads. This knee pad you get from the Dark Zone. It's only a Dark Zone drop. I'm not sure if it drops in the world, in the open world, but again I got this from the Dark Zone. Specifically from the Dark Zone drops. And the reason why I use this is because of the talent. It's called Parker. Performing a cover to cover or vaulting reloads your drawn weapon and grants plus 25% bonus armor for 5 seconds. Guys, this literally is really good when you combine it with the backfire, because as the backfire talent says, on reload apply a 10 seconds bleed. If you're running the Ninja Bike Messenger knee pads, you don't have to reload. So that means you will not have any bleed effect at all. So this is one way to get around the tricky part of the gun. And as for my skills, I'm using the Revive Hive and I'm using the Decoy. I mean, it works pretty well. You can use any skill you want. It's totally up to you. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I really love to share my personal opinions about different builds and the different variations you can have with different combinations of weapons and equipments. And I also love to see your ideas and your thoughts on different variants. So please comment down in the section below and let me know what you think about them. And once again, I really thank you guys for watching and being a part. See you guys in the next video. Cheers, people.